So with this music here, where you see the player.
Yeah, that's-
Sam. You see, I was so promised. Give me this, give me this, give me this, and give me. Look it done, look it done.
This crucial deadly. So, with all due respect, I'm not talk waiting, you don't know. Who say you the way life they give me under lolo. Don't they do music more than half a decade ago? Say now man them no blow. Your speech was nonsensicality. Excuse me French. Me not so non-entity, but still in a trench. Just wanna escape reality. Eventuality, no matter the quantity, the dust not the quench. Now I no get nothing when I'm me own. For Kusha don't sell me asset, sell me phone. Where the feeling king camper me, you know they pamper me. So pass a goodie for ton clean saloon. Watermelon not so punky. 2 weeks ago now so they tie me like a monkey. Cause the addiction king control me like a conky. This thing no idol man don't know say me na junkie. Don't fever zombie. This thing evil, this thing a devil. It don't deteriorate me to a whole other level. Not so this man been expect man don't lose me respect. Now the people they look me like rebel. Sam the kush, don't bug me area. Sam the kush, don't bug me career. A small bush, don't turn all that in ya. All man they push, where you pass na area. What are they try? Myself no one die, I start full eye. Not on me body, this I just a dry. If I say I know I left, I'm a de lie. We mama them they cry. Where them they watch them picking them they die. Not so una said we not deny. But now we una sell and we dey buy. This crucial deadly.
Pencil in the mix.
all right. King David,
Yes.
I'm sure you will listen to that music.
Mm-hmm.
How pathetic that artist, a display about how Kush they destroy, we use them. They sell all in property, in camera, just for smoke Kush, you know, and he actually try for cast the blame also on the one them way they sell and give them. And in we last week video we mentioned something about that the dealers them, the sellers them, all the create problem. So today we come back to the Naya because since we pull that video, we don't get a very, very urgent development where now about Kush traffickers na airport, now employees of the airport where them free. I think the security them bust them, so they are on the run. They don't declare they wanted. So today we can't discuss that day, and we get forget two guests them we will come for can join we for discuss them. One Emmanuel Bokari, then for let it come Rob Mott and that. So what do you think about them and the way they don't arrest them at the airport?
Yeah.
Where they don't where they on the run? Where they on the run?
Yeah. Honorable Siko 5. Back to this music with this gentleman Yapo. He's a very, very brilliant artist. Everything when at the talking point on the effect of Kush, a touch on how Kush don't deteriorate not to so in body day. Physical deterioration. They say Kush don't spoil that, don't cause that. Kush it don't cause a mental health breakdown on her. And it's in addictive drugs. If you take her, this you don't without her. And Kush they kill people in Astafula, you know, and die. That is a touch on the high mortality rate will push the cause of that country. Now, as we
Correct.
talked last in our last video last week, discussion last week, this push, the one that where they really cause the problem or the trafficking of this push to that country. Now, those when they discharge the responsibility of, for me, them we will try curtail them, for me, them try for stop them, for me, them try for, you know, fight for me. We push business that salo. So the unfortunate side is those people were getting responsibilities here, wait for fight against push. Now then will they see they evolve into this push saga. Like them man they
Yeah.
where they catch. I mean where they on the run right now. And just as me and you don't hear it, when they talk about them, not to ordinary people that are around the area, now people that will go maybe don't give responsibility to. For me, they help
Correct.
the government, may they help the country for fight against push. The unfortunate part, now then are the people there. We don't discover, say, now then they involve into them trade here. A very, very disheartening, a very, very disappointing, and a bad for the country, a bad for the nation.
All right. Well, King David, indeed, it is so sad. Well, now try for bringing one of your guests then, Emmanuel Bokari. Let can help we for discuss then here. Hopefully, you don't figure out in camera. Hello, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
We want to see your camera they off.
What's up with the camera?
Anyway, you gonna work on that
Uh-huh.
while
Yeah.
we discuss.
Yeah. Look for. Yeah.
Yeah. So today we there for discuss this
How to put the camera on.
this development where they don't
How to turn it on.
detect some drug traffickers in the airport.
Mhm.
Then wait for make the country safe.
Okay.
Wait for protect the country from them coups and any other bad thing they can of the country. Now then involved in the trafficking. So three of them they're on the run. The police don't declare they wanted, and we get for display the name, their faces, their naya, their faces, their names, naya. So that we can really discuss how they can multiply the damage to society and what the government need for do for take care of this situation. So, Emmanuel, I'm sure you listen to that boy music, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about him? And then fugitives are already on the run.
Well, that's one of the concern that I was talking about. Very sad where you see the young generation over there. You can see that they are vulnerable. They are crying for help. They are crying for help. That means they need some help. And like my brother said, King David, the people that they have put them in authority to able to protect this suspected drugs issue before it gets escalated to this point, they're not able to do the right job. A very painful way you see the people are crying for help. The young people are crying for help. You know? And that's why I have been always saying that for able to succeed in that country for fight drugs, one critical area now for a lot of focus on the disruption of drugs trafficking at the various points of entry into the country. Because look what happened. The guy that was waited day on the run, they were working at one of the points of entry, whether the airport, you know, whether the airport. So that is one of the areas that I mean already say if we are serious on fighting and put an end or dismantle this drugs process in another country, we need for disrupt the drugs trafficking. And so I really glad it, but the point here is we need a lot of work to be done because the Drugs Control Act will get here now. The Drugs Control Act is not too effective because we get drugs possession now 20 years you forget. If you end up found guilty with drug possession at 20 years, me if you say too lightly, therefore they can make up to 40 years. And then even drugs trafficking, they only got 15 years if they catch you on drugs trafficking. Me if you say therefore make up 45 years to 50 years. Because one thing we need to do is if the crime will possibly commit, the crime not heavier than the punishment, if the punishment not heavier than the crime, then the person, or you know, they set precedent to others out there. So as a result, it will be a repetition. There will be a repeat of committing this crime. So I feel say now one of the areas that really there should be a revisit for able to strengthen that area. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing because I mean the point of entry or the port of entry now therefore really reinforce and strengthen. But before we go further, I want to bring in we other guest with my young small brother, Mr. Jesse Fatoma, for let can give we your perspective, professional perspective about the damage with this drug here cause to young man them for now and in the future. And how if you say government for address this thing here for help young one on the street. So, Mr. Fatoma, welcome to the chat to this platform.
Thank you very much for having me here.
All right. So I'm sure we'll start now. We'll play some music. I don't know whether you'll be there in for listen to that music. Whether young man is sing. We're very touching. And I make a desire to start the program with him. And also this project program today, this video. Now for talk about the 3 fugitives where the Australian police don't declare wanted, and we don't get the pictures then we get for display and allow man see. Then kind people and they, Mr. Fatoma, what do you think about them, and how you feel say government for handle that kind of money in the airport there or reports them generally?
Go ahead and do that.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Saido, for having me here. You first and foremost, I just want to give me background a little bit about all this drug thing where it happened. My name is Jesse Fatoma, and I'm as psychiatric nurse practitioner. I don't practice psych since I graduated as a nurse, and I became a nurse practitioner. Now where I'm fully licensed for deal with drugs and mental illness. If I can answer your question where you talk about the fugitives and where they hold, where they're at large right now, how to handle situations like that. I mean, for far too long, I believe this has been a syndicate. We don't go on now with country, and there is nowhere in the world where they do drug peddling or being part of a cartel where not a syndicate. Then go only able for catch you when you become greedy. And I believe to some extent maybe not this going to happen to them, and not come and I don't catch up with them. And people like this are not fit for purpose, not fit for the now community, because they are selfish and and sometimes they don't even know the damages where the drugs in question they cause now with community. So they only care about their pockets and care about their families, and so then decide for get into a business like this for destroy with society and with community at large. And I feel say the government not for take this thing lightly with anybody so far way involved. I don't care whether you be, whether you dig closer to the hem of affairs. The government for come up with robust measures or make sure say people like this are brought to book, because this has no place in our society, has no place in our community, because it did damage the future of Sierra Leone.
All right. Well, Mr. Fatoma, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I want to introduce you to profile about your background in this area, but Manwe, you don't do like he said, you don't do at this field for a very long time. You get vast experience in it. Nami Kubre and count again at this platform so that it will really come for educate we compatriots them, we brothers them, Leoneans them, when they take this drug, when they were involved in this drug dealing, how much harm can they do to young one in the country and to a nation. So then three fugitives there are therefore bring them come at the screen, that will see them. And we play small music at the background while at the display one at a time. And then after that, we talk about them more, and then we go into the damages what is they cause to society. Yeah.
Okay.
Young Lee on the beat.
All right. So this is the first mandate put on the screen. Name Mr. Lawrence Duwea. So this man. Yeah, now the first mandate on the screen, Lawrence Duwea, where they put a lonely airport, where they want to clear one thing. We're on the wrong right now. So, and then come man there, we're going to responsibility, get the box, then we what? The protection from that kind of dangerous drugs entering the country. And nine, like you said, part of the cartel, that kind of so this is one of the man them, Mr. Lawrence Duwea. So we are viewers there. If you see this man or you know him, or anybody then at Twitter will say, no, according to the police, they're down the announcement, you get a handsome reward for anybody. They go to and never disclose the name. You will remain anonymous. So we are Mr. Lawrence Duwea, one of the man that will no condition is permanent. Yeah, anybody was here. That's important to the we can't show the next possibility.
Make me let me serve, make me shake body, make me play a laugh, make me throw any cold water. Help me, I help you. Help me, I like you. Love me, I love you.
Alright, so the next man is Mr. Bible Kamara. He said the whole thing. Some of them play advantage of the chance with the airport. I like the book. It's a body great. For many arrest them and they will lock them up. Thank you. Society. Society, they help us. And the mandate with the Bible Kamara, any way they assist. We are all inside there so that the whole contender. So I can name this, I come to the last one.
Young Lee on the beat.
Alright, this is the last man. The third one is a Prince Soa. inside the rooms at the airport, and all the other cartel business in the country with the help of destroying the nation and use them in the next generation. So instead of wrong, anybody, whoever it is, we know this man, we get information about it. Please inform the police. Even if they overseas, if they relating to Australia, then they call the nearest police station, the police post, and then we apprehend this wicked madman. And like this music they sing at the background, Indian and Punati, you see business everywhere. Forget the we are going to forget the government, we're going to pull everything. The only way we're going to protect this year. What of entry block day? When they get arrested. So the last man. So now we will go to the
It's a send any money in a man. No man is an island.
All right, so Mr. Fatoma,
no condition is
now we know that there is 3 men a day in the country where they cause them trouble. What do you think about them? And which kind of damage do you think say that they cause to the nation? And we use them?
Thank you very much, Mr. Saidu. One thing I want for Michael to look at right now. If you look at those 3 people, they got one thing in common. They all work at airport. And I could tell you, authoritatively tell you, this has been going on for a very long time. We get different types of drugs where they can salon. Some then they weigh high-end drugs where they come through the airport, and some then they weigh low-end drugs where they come through. Of course, before this time I don't say salon, it will become a hub where we will get people and they distribute drugs from where, because some of the drugs where they can salon not able for buyer because they're very expensive, like coke, meth. We not get the money for buyer. So then they end up for make salon as a hub, and then Sierra Leone being a hub, like a distributing center, where then they send either Conakry, and they send in Liberia, and they send us some neighboring countries. But then 3 guys we just display their photos here, like a one thing in common, when they work at that airport. And I sure say if they go in depth, more people they were involved in that. Except otherwise, if they try to conceal certain things. But if they go in depth, a lot of people, even big ones, will come down. There is no way where they're going to run that cartel where they know. There is a syndicate. You know, every step along the way, get a tap for open. And if that tap not open, they get to the other stage. And this is what has been happening. So then guy, I shall say along the line, maybe the person maybe the car with the drugs, either there was a miscommunication or there was a delay, and then a glitch happened, another person see. And drug money is when you see, whoever sees drug money, they go for pay them. If they not pay them, they go out there. Or if you land in the hands of somebody where timid or where they afraid, they ain't go expose them. So now that one then they're part of the scheme. But at the same time, again, we just use them as a distraction right now because they don't run away. But if they go in depth, trust me, a lot of big ones they go come down because of this.
I definitely agree with you, and yeah. And so, Emmanuel, at this point, what thing you feel say government for do for try for eradicate this year, or at least minimize them, this influx of the drug in our country? Now we don't say in the airport they can't they. We mean I know it believe say it will happen, but we don't know say that don't happen, and that means they've done it for a long time. What do you feel say government for do? And not only now we report them, but even the victims. What do you feel say government for do for help them? Which steps do you feel say government for take? We will assist them.
Thank you, Mr. Saidu, sir. And Mr. Patoma, thank you also. You emphasize on those guys on the run that their activity has been going on for a very long time. You see, one of the areas that I do believe the government for help and continue for do, I believe they do, but it need for mount more pressure is how to enhance the law enforcement effectiveness. The law enforcement effectiveness at this point at this entry points them. Because that are one entry point. We just talk about this because some people are on the run. Some folks are there on the run. We got other entry points them. Well, they don't even hold their age. For instance, Wataki, they of course they border them. So maybe say the law enforcement effectiveness at this entry now for emphasize by the government for emphasize. Whatever it do, it need for mount more pressure for these areas because we need for address the several keys vulnerability. This area, there's a lot of vulnerability in this area today. And one area is corruption. You know, most of these people, they are not, when they see these drugs cartel people, they say, they give them money. And then because of that, they say, okay, I can able to get this money. It's more than my salary. And then they will take it. So now the government for try for really address corruption. And then also limited resources because so they get limited resources for fight this crime. So if government can able improve on whatever it do for able mount more pressure on corruption and provide resources, it will help. It will help a lot. But also, we also remember for say these drugs here, it not just the come na salon, it transits through other countries. You see, and that is why they said no man stands alone. This drugs fight, salon one able fighter. That is clear. If we are serious, we have to make sure we have active participation with our regional partners and international partners, because most of these drugs they are transiting through Sierra Leone or they are coming to Sierra Leone through other countries, from other countries, by the way. So if we go able to get a good cooperation, we'll go work with our regional partners and then international, we'll be able to disrupt these drugs for let it get there. You see, so that one of the area that day and really get a strong network, that border network, you know. But also, given the fact that Salome, we coastline, it took great. So we have to invest in the Navy capability. I feel say the Navy capability going to be effective. So that at least they will detect this stuff them and take action before even it land at the country. You know, so I feel that investment we need for improve on patrol, that the water, that the sea, and then have a vessel that will deploy and detect this stuff there before they land. Because most of these drugs, now less they will come through the airport, but mostly now by sea or by the borders. So that area, the government for make sure it improve on law enforcement. You know, and then like I said, when those are committing this drugs trafficking or drugs possession, their punishment is, to me, their punishment is too light. Because if somebody commits something, crime, and order they watch, they know say again lesser punishment. To me, 15 years, 20 years is less. They have to go to 45 years or even 50 years. So at least we will set a precedent that when others see that, they will try for say, you know what, if anytime I'm captured, my whole life is over. So really the punishment had to increase to 40 to 50 years. That's what area have to be.
Okay.
And then when you come to helping these people that really they affect with these drugs, I feel say we need for increase on providing new institution for mental home and other rehabilitation facilities. Because mind you, when it reaches the local market, these guys that are the local market really they need more rehabilitation than incarceration. Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Mr. Bukari, for your contribution. So we don't the final say government really need for do more at the entry point them for take care of the situation there because now they more in the past. And indeed, I agree. I think government need for do more because there was a time when we get uh, information say government, you know, then found one vehicle. The vehicle be the commercial Leone when we ambassador in vehicle according to Otubieri. That vehicle passed through Cambia, they go to Guinea, they go Holland drugs day. Then we call the ambassador, although not be did it. Then Guinea arrest the driver and the other passenger and the vehicle. But me, I don't know, I know Yeri, what the government do, now we your side for address that issue. Also, we hear say government, I mean Liberia security them, they arrest another motocar way full of drug from Sierra Leone. It just don't pass Jendema, you go through the Blue Water side bridge, you reach the Liberia side, the whole them. We saw security deposit them today. And we hear say one plane can land na Waterloo some time back. After I think 5-6 hours, and then final say plane don't land yonder. When they go hold the white man them, they say they lost control and fear dump and or something like that. You understand? So who knows what they want to be done bring and already offload. 6 hours, plane don't can land on a country before people they go tell una. Me, I believe say that may be fishy, but then that can tell the people and people they believe. Then this be enter back. We have say ship can Sierra Leone. They say I think it lost control by a go na Sierra Leone water. They go hold up. With security forces, they go there after a couple of hours. They say don't go look into the boat, nothing, no alarm, no call for alarm, everything okay. What in them and they don't come with? You understand? So, like how you say, man, the Navy, the need to reinforce with Navy, with Naval branch, and then even with custom officers at the border. Make them very proactive. So, Mr. King David.
Yeah.
So, you think government they do much for arrest this situation?
Thank you so much, Honorable Sikufai. Me, I definitely believe say government not able to do much yet for control or put them problem here under control. The previous speakers hit on something. Corruption. Corruption now they contribute to a whole lot of problems when they happen as Sierra Leone. So on the area of this drug crisis, now just one side of the corruption we will see. One thing when they read now all the talk here, so the police, they're not independent when they do their job. Not that all of them actually, or good number of them really favor the idea. There are someone who really favor the idea and they want to do the work effectively. But here is a situation. If it happens, say, somebody there where they in authority, when it connected to this drugs trade, and you, when are the policeman, when are just an ordinary officer, you want to effectively do your work, and you don't see, say, this vehicle. Now, a vehicle will be, say, that a suspected vehicle will for effectively search this vehicle or for search this particular load or this particular individual. Then it can happen, say, oh, the senior officer where they, when are you senior one where they are ahead of you, they tell you, say, oh, no, the power get that too. Not touch and this and that. What you go do? This one, why I say this is directly connected to what happens on Sierra Leone. Now, Guinea, the vehicle travel all the way from Sierra Leone. They go all the way to Guinea. Now, Guinea, then go arrest that vehicle. Now, they go see, they search and see that drugs. You know, nobody will ever tell me, say, or tell you, say, now inside Guinea, that vehicle or they pick up that drugs. No, not from Sierra Leone. And guess what? There are a whole lot of checkpoints where they're in Sierra Leone before you even enter inside Guinea. What did these officers do? They didn't do anything, probably. So they don't want to do this side, but because they say, oh, now the power in Motukao, you don't get for go near. And some other people, when they can, even if not to the power in Motukao, but because it is that vehicle, it connected to say, oh, Lord forbid, now honorable side. Now, in small brother down there. Now, my big brother, honorable side, now my big brother, look my ID card. As you see, don't call that, they say, well, pass go. So, meaning the police, they know they do their job effectively just because authorities then they, when we say they get changed to most of them here where they happen. and they're not able to do their job effectively because they don't want to lose their job. So that's a justice. There are a whole lot of factors where responsible. You and me know. With the names, and all the names here it just circulate around big bonds, people that were in authority. And these are the people of authority in that country. What would they expect? Say now, therefore, help or put this drug situation crisis under control, but it's not happening. And just like what we brother be they say, the drugs in operation that we just for look at the targeted operations, the route, how them drugs they travel. We look at the land borders, even the inland waters, like them rivers. People they go inside boats, they put drugs, they travel and counter. As long as they know say police they then at that side at Cambia and another river, they will be say they will take load. When they go through Cambia, they go where inside them cross. Those are some of the areas there where they actually need for look into. Like they storage them right inside Freetown. You see, then ghettos. Those are places that will actually, if really the government ready for put this drugs business as we be started, and I always say, if government want for control drugs, government want for do away with push. It will do away with push within 1 month time. Within a month. Because we hear about other crises will be done, they happen as Sierra Leone. Criminals in the car, then they try for do this to the government, they try for disrupt. What government ready for that? Within 2-3 months. All they say they don't under control. Why this push business they still continue? It's over a year now, and people they die every day.
Well, I think I get an answer. I get an answer to that question. The question is, I believe honestly say, you get big ones in the country where involved in this deal here.
Yes,
definitely. You get big ones, and that is why an officer government they do much, honestly. And we president don't declare this crisis an emergency last year, and therefore really treat them like that. Because, for instance, what will happen now, Liberia, when they arrest them to carry with drug, me feel say, I don't know what the government do, but me feel say government for them, the whole custom set up in that place for dismantle all. We don't dismantle all the custom from that place. If they not say they know, they don't know, pull it all come out. You suspend them. You pull it from another place. Then they go dig it. When they go to the office and free they come another border. You understand? The one in Cambia, then I will forgive them because now bossman Motuka, an ambassador. You don't expect them for such ambassador in Motuka or minister in Motuka because if you say then they get the responsibility for protect we. You understand? And no to that kind of thing. So then I will forgive them. But again, all depend on that. All are carted in the wrong. So, Mr. Fatuma, make a come back to you. Now we don't talk about what then guy they don't do, how bad it is, what government need to do. Now let's talk about the victims. Because the victims tomorrow, then they go for succeed they go for be with next generation. How you feel say this drug affect another country, mentally, socially, morally, physically, and then what do you feel say government for do for alleviate the suffering? Because they are suffering.
Yeah, thank you very much. If I can delve into that a little bit, one of the steps we have say force government to take. I mean, we brothers don't talk about corruption and this and that. Make up just piggyback on that before I come to this, answering this question. We talk about corruption, but one of the foundation to corruption in Sierra Leone is because of wage disparity. Now let's look at how much then they pay with people and how much are the cost of living in the country. So somebody will not one day see $1,000, $2,000, and even like for a whole year, and when they pay like maybe in salary now then $100 when maybe 2,000 which is 2 million. Then somebody can one occurrence at $1,000. It's still enough to make it pass. It's a budging. Automatically the budging because at the end of the day, if you say this and one, this are the opportunity for me for the instance. It even forgets about the repercussion. So until we try for look at the wage disparity wherein people how much they pay them and then to commensurate to the cost of living at the country, corruption will ever get for continuing for them at that country there. So now only few people right now they money they flow in their hand. Whether you look at it or not, whether in the days of APC or SLPP or whatever thing, but we immediately here at the talk as a Sierra Leonean. Now only maybe few people. And even that few people, and they whether they don't come on maybe in a power or whatever thing or the helm of affairs or that job they don't left them, they not get access to that kind of money they again. So until we try for structure, they will say money not there, but we spend money on politics, we spend money on anything, but we need to look at the wage disparity. How which is the gap between Joe when they teach in a village and that man who sit on a state house or who sit on a parliament, how much can they pay compared to that? That's one. So now let's come back to the question where you asked me about what if you say the government for do for help the people here. First and foremost, then we need to pass an act. The act we will pass is we call them healthcare parity. Healthcare parity now, one thing that the way most of the countries get, like especially let's say day. That means you they treat the same drug addicts the same like how they treat hypertensive patient. If somebody can at your clinic or at your hospital, they tell you say you get high blood pressure. The doctors they treat them, then they tell them say, or then give them some education, tell them say, not eat this again, not do this, exercise, not do dandy. But it's still they go back. What did the doctor tell them to make it not do? It's still they do them. And when you do them, they get for come back to the hospital. So the hospital will be like a revolving door for them. Or now to the side of the addiction is a whole sickness. So when we talk about fighting the drugs, and also we need to pay attention to the addicts. So the addiction, like I stated, now a whole round of sickness where like a lot of people don't even understand. Because addiction now like when they go take something, it give that pleasurable effect. If you don't take one bottle of beer or now you don't drink for the whole 1 month, it give that kind of feel good effect. The next month when if you take one bottle, you don't get that feel good effect until you get for double them again. So that is what they happen because we get one neurotransmitter what they call the dopamine. Dopamine are the rewarding neurotransmitter, and so whatever way they take, they give you that pleasure. So anything way they do, even let's forget about even the drugstore, any other thing where they do, for the fact that you dopamine you dopaminergic receptors and they accept what they do. The next time when you can out, you need to get more for make it able to achieve the pleasure way they get. So now what do we do? Now as a government, before this time we don't order the appeal. Like when they talk. One, we need first and foremost we need to get people we knowledgeable about this treated addiction. You cannot take police officer and put her in charge of addiction. Wait, you not get any bearing for the day. You cannot take you don't go take politician or soldier man. Wait for go deal with addiction. We not get any bearing for the day. Addiction is a whole topic on your own, a whole process or a whole job or whatever it on its own. Where only people will understand that supposed for them to handle that. One, we need to establish treatment centers, rehabilitation centers. We need to get MAT, what we call MAT. MAT is a medication assisted treatment. Wherein some people when they take this thing, if then they go through withdrawals, we get medication where they give them for help them so the withdrawal is not going for kill them. Most of them wonder where they die soon on the street. Now, because then they go through withdrawals, that the withdrawals they kill them. Why yesterday I watched that video where that person they say it went clean. If I not take that thing, they're not they feel good. It's because when the drug they left your system, they become so restless, they become so angry, they become so anxious. You do anything what they tell you for do, you give a good do and for go get that drugs. So until government try for put the structures in place, we get the healthcare parity, where whatever money whether they assign for the medical condition, they assign them to also mental health and addiction. That's one thing. But these things have to go through parliament. Let them approve them. They will tell you say money not there because they would maybe the money where they assign to on the medical condition, the drugs are where they can for that. The money not enough for me able for make you spill over for me to treat addiction. That's another thing. So one, getting the right personnel for handle this. No, this has nothing to do with politicians. It has nothing. in America, when you say I'm a healthcare worker, anybody so far, except for now, where at the sea, then they cover holes with a lead wind, not supposed for day. But all the years why they not done in this country, you cannot take a police officer for car head addiction unit. No, there are people who are trained personnel where they in that. Even then I would ask questions. Even we institutions will get are they equipped enough for able for teach people how to handle addiction? No, we don't have that. So we need to go back to the drawing board and see what best we can do to able for tackle all these problems where they can. Because addiction, like I said, the other side where we talk about waiting will happen. We get what we call the prefrontal lobe. We're responsible for judgment, exhibiting some judgment. We're responsible for a whole lot of things. Now, for most teenagers, we are targeted in this drug taking. Their prefrontal lobes, they're not fully closed yet. So when the drugs they go back, if they touch your day, and when they touch your day, then when they become angry, then they indulge in kind of behaviors where unwanted in the society. Then they go commit crime. Then they even go begin they do burglary at night. So the government gets a whole lot of things for do. Every region supposed to get a rehabilitation center that is well equipped for able to take care of the boys there. Criminalizing it, not able to solve the problem. If you drive them now your house, you're not able to solve the problem. Pick them up from the street, take them to rehab centers, get the right tools. We're going to make the rehab. The one way they go through withdrawals, when they don't go through withdrawals, then go through therapy. After the therapy, then they're going to reintegrate in a society. And then the other thing, involve community centers, involve churches, involve mosques. Then we get what we call peer support group. So other people that will be done taking drugs here, where at the end of the day, now they are clean. You form a youth group or a club and tag along with the people here, go to the hard to reach areas, when they go preach to the people them, show them the marks where they don't get. Because remember, I'm going to talk about one time where I say, when I take that drugs and they get so food.
Yeah.
We get in health what we call peripheral claudication, vascular claudication. That means most of the side, whose side oxygen they go, plaque don't form there because of them smoke here when they smoke and then tear when they take. So oxygen when they reach the fat and the appendages in the hand, the fat, the foot them and this and that. And oxygen and they enhance healing. So small side where you don't get that redness done, the way see scratch them. So as you scratch them so, it is not also food because oxygen not the reach. And that is why most of the see that they pass, they get so food to them. So how do they know? Most of the people when they're in charge of this, they don't even know all of these things. Get the right people at the right place, better handle situation. If you get experts, give them contracts, say 6 months, come and train people, make them establish this. When they establish, they go take over. Because if forget an expert, you get for pay more money. Train them people here into how they do them. When they don't take over, 6 months, you get a 6 month timeline. After you don't train them, make them exit. And then the people then go take over. That's one thing where I feel say the government really needs to look into. But again, you can't pour out of an empty cup. Because most of these guys, they don't get any knowledge about these things. When they say drug, what's that they run to? Either they run to AI or they go Google, they can't sit on a TV, they can't begin to talk about them. It's not like that. We have experts with knowledgeable in that kind of areas, and that is what we do. I don't need a job necessarily. I know it's not every single one. I don't need a job. That's alone for them. They go say can't do this. But we don't the points. Last time when this school shall become, I wrote an article. That time I've been in my MP school. I wrote an article. I sent it to most of them. Some of them they just pick half. Now they begin use. I get people like my youth commission will reach out to me. When one article, I send it to them. But why would they behave so? We not, we get a long way for go. But until we come back on the right track.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Mr. Fatoma. Indeed, we have a long way to go. We will go around with the blame of government. Government, they feel say they try, but I don't feel say the government get a good professional advice where they will get for really help them and guide them towards the right path. So as a result, I think they just do things in a haphazard manner. Like I said last time in the last video, we get drug enforcement agents in the country. Me not even hear the chairman, what did they talk? Chairman Jara Kaikai, I don't hear what did they talk. Whether they give your own advice to the government on the take him, or I don't know. But I've never heard him on the radio, TV, never, ever. So what is he doing? And they get paid and they get a team. Because a man like that, me, I believe, say, you know, if you need police, if you need your task force, you understand? Your task force, where you go use for man all them points, the key, the water key, the airport, the borders them, and with water, like how Emmanuel says, suggest. One thing when they think, like airport so and water key, with them task force, let them dog them with them policeman and get naya.
Dogs.
Yeah, can I dog them? You can't get a couple of them. You understand? Any container go, when I open them, when I send them inside it, or when I offload the container, because this thing, otherwise, it destroys the nation. We get for spend the thing, it don't need in the country. With the area of people, where nobody get nothing to the way you go, the same to them they do, then they do where they don't go able to be buffer, but they get 2-story building, 3-story building, then they still get money, but you know they see inside they go work, forget the money. Now the drug, and like how you say, like them are in the airport. But good people and they young man and they do not get job, then get job at the airport. But all man who want work at the airport, they don't get that opportunity, but they feel say they forget more. So somebody can hint and say, bruh, we get for the bring that thing you want for the use now for long and the acceptance for we may pass. So to any pass the thing pass, we know they get $3,000. And then you go take somebody something for me reject that offer. You understand? Because no matter what they get at the airport, you know they get $3,000 per month. Or so any plane car out load, when I make it pass, you get $3,000. One person. In fact, I would tell and say, but they say more load. You don't make up. So this thing now a big problem in our country where we government need to really address for we are glad we are bringing a kind today now, because Mr. Fatuma, I really hope this thing will go viral, this video, so that people that will really listen, the kind education hold on, we give, we nation and we government officials them, make them follow up. Because if they follow these tracks, it go help we. You know, that fumble and they were there and not to fumble them where they take drug. Me not get fumble the way they take drug, not every age. Where they take drug. But then they are LEONEANS. If for people all concerned, for all make sure so put your money in the street. So for no wrap up, I get for come to each and every one of you now. Let us just do a closing and on any other thing we will get for talk about. So I want to start with you, Mr. Bokari Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mr. Saidu, and thank you everybody on the panel. What you all would not talk from King Davis to Mr. Saidu to Mr. Fatuma is definitely in place. But one thing I want left now, where I hope this go circulate around to reach every elected officials or whoever is in position is the president's office should mount more its oversight, because it do oversight. The president office do oversight. But the oversight, if we say the need for ramp up that oversight of government agency and partnerships that involve in drugs eradication effort in our country. For instance, we talk about, Mr. Sadi, we talk about the National Drugs Enforcement Agency and then the National Tax on Drugs and Substances Abuse, and then even the National Transnational Organized Crime. You know, the president often need to mount more pressure on those areas, because we still believe the drugs don't reach the local markets if you not come through these transit points there. Now that area I want to let them handle, no matter how things are difficult. But if we stop and we will find other way for survive, we will only survive, not to ban drugs. So, but if they would block that, it don't reach the black market or local market. And one of these few some there where I feel say for really being is to empower enforcement agency them. Mr. Fatuma alluded to that. Like for instance, funding. There should be more funding so that they can hire more personnel he alluded to and said, most people, they don't know what they do in terms of rehabilitation. In terms of rehabilitation, most people, they don't know what to do. Okay, they don't know what to do. So as a result, they need to hire more personnel, you know, and they also acquire more necessary equipment. It's a side to talk about that, like that K9 dog there. Those are all equipment they will need for fighting storm. So I feel the government for continue for work on that. If they do have, need for do more, but also make sure one thing when I talk to people there, that country there is the president's office needs to champion the whistleblowers. I have heard for so many people that protection not there for whistleblowers. Somebody go see somebody say, like how we are talking, these government officials or people in positions, for say they are involved in this drugs dealing or trafficking, but we are afraid to expose because it might not go nowhere. They might not even take you serious. Or if they take you serious, your life might be in trouble. Your family life might be at stake. So me feel say whistleblowers need to be protected, but also those informants need to protect them if they want to expose drugs dealers. Now that areas are feel they for concentrate on. You know, so definitely I hope the government can focus on those areas and have to improve, you know, improve your oversight, but they also strengthen the funding and they will be able to train specialists then where they will fight this stuff here. So hopefully this will reach somewhere and they will try to adopt some of these recommendations and even involve community. One thing I remember, I say, because this drug something, we for sell like a crime watch. I wanted to do the drugs like a crime watch. Where you reach now a neighborhood or you don't reach a local market, a crime watch. In a way that watchdog, so that if you see a neighbor, they do something all right, or you see on strange vehicles, and then the neighbor will not be jam, report somewhere, and there comes there again whistleblower. No report, they don't get protection because we know how that country they. Somebody say you want to they eat, and they go for you. So we have to really make sure the whistleblower or informants are protected. But if we have the crime watchdog that the corporate them or that the community them, so that when we see any strange vehicle, somebody report. Any strange activity of people that they move, they don't be there, they for report. We need for strengthen that. And of course, Mr. Fatuma, my brother, say community need for be strong. We for strengthen the community and family involvement. Family for involved. And how that will empower the community and then faith leaders for preach, for talk, for that people they go realize say they're wrong and they come back to their senses. So all this stuff need to improve and they continue. I know we are doing launching a awareness campaign, but we need to increase on that for let them know it's at the risk of this push. So I hope some recommendation they will reach and really there should be an action taken. If it's taken, but mount the action that have been taken, because whatever action have been taken, it's not be workable. So that means not more needs to be done. So we only hope that that can get somewhere and we can get real in this fight at this push because we're able to solve it. But for some reason, we are not ready. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bokari, for your contribution today on the panel. Now, Mr. Fatoma, so we want you give the last word you said about this, your message to a nation and with people and with government and even the victims.
First and foremost, I want to appeal to the government for make we be intentional in fighting this drug, you know. Because at the end of the day, you might say you picking not day, your sister not day, your brother not day. But like Mr. Saido stated before, they're all the one that were involved in this thing are Sierra Leoneans. So if the government are intentional enough for fight this drug thing here, tomorrow we will get a lot of mentally ill people on the streets. But we don't already get people them where we don't involve in the war, we don't come, we already get out with them. So now then they try for use the drugs, you know, for men and fall back on the drugs. So at the end of it, then you know, for numb them pain. Because that's why people take drugs for numb their pain. And then numbness, where they give them, it's just an tentative numbness. Secondly, I feel say the government need for the staff now the airport need for the rotational. because people they settle. If you become rotational, drug dealers not like interruption because that flow of money for the camp all the time. If I put in an airport today, maybe next week, on the next 2 days, memo come out, hey, you not come here, they go. Hey, you the come now, library border. Hey, you go to so. Drug dealers don't get. But one of the main person where I feel say the need for interrogate again. Now that person where they work at that tower. There is no plane where they camp inside under. Now in they approve, and they know exactly what's in they happen. If you not approve for let that plane on land, then they pass, say they not in land. And most of the times when they pass with this here, na syndicate. From the boss, then when they come, take to the domot, to the last person. Sometimes you don't take time and inside they put the thing and they pop back, you walk out with them, it can't go inside the plane. We don't see how they happen. You know, before then, I've spoken to people whether working at airports, we don't report on issues like this where they happen. And until we be intentional, we'll ever continue for cry out. The second thing we had to say here is about this kush. Kush is dangerous. And the advent of kush or the introduction of kush in Sierra Leone, it not come to me as a surprise. Because here also would they are liking to what they call K2 spice. And that's how they cause irreversible psychosis. Once you start to take this marijuana, the marijuana will get nasalon and the one will get naya. The potency of the one will get naya is lower. The one will get nasalon because it not split to the THC or whatever thing, it still get high potency. Yeah, because they then reduce on the potency. I mean, they even allow at the market for men that they use them as medical marijuana. So if you smoke the one naya, anybody where they smoke marijuana now, if you go smoke that salon, the one where they smoke that salon, they mess them up. And the first time when they smoke marijuana, it can cause a one-time episode of psychosis, where sometimes with they liken them to, if you not take time, with they mistaken for schizophrenia, because the same symptoms where schizophrenia they show, now the same symptoms with marijuana, the first episode of marijuana they show, because they begin to see people when they see it, you begin to turn, you begin to auditory hallucination, visual hallucination, or tactile hallucination, when you see like somebody something they crawl on his skin, or you begin to talk to unseen others. So others here they cause them problem then they. And how would they get into here? Now simple marijuana that they take with boku different chemicals. Then they put part of the marijuana and they dry them. And we have these labs in our community. We get the labs in our community. Those labs are in Freetown. They go there, McKinney, they go there, Bolton. And people in the way they in tune with their labs and they know. So until we run after these people, because the marijuana already there in the country, then the third thing is make use of these clubs, like universities. Most of the time, Nayana a breeding ground. Whether where they go, then initiation. Sometimes either we make it into cake, we make it into butterscotch. For the first timers, if they find out somebody, they say, hey, my brother go college, they go on initiation, they can't go on the wall. They can't, they talk. No! You don't say they don't go here. Either they don't go here kush butterscotch, or they don't go here the cake, you don't eat. Because this is what we feel say we go do for make we get mind, for make we get liver, for do whatever thing we want for do. So once you get the head of those clubs, like university or colleges, you try for talk to them. For men, try for fine-tune what they do, or men will get them distorted thinking out. And men would make we lean back to some other things what they do, how they do the initiation. Then they go better for society. Another thing, they will involve these community leaders, involve churches, like I stated, or even want to talk about that. Involve churches, just like what they get them endemic them, what they try, like where Ebola come. Would they involve all the other groups them, then they go, would they preach to them? Involve churches, involve mosques, involve community associations, involve the peer support group. Then build centers for those people there. So at the end of the day tomorrow, Salon will be a better place for we picking them. Otherwise, we still not equipped for get rehabilitation centers. People that still they continue for take them, picking they take them, adults they take them. And so tomorrow, we get forget serious problem. At this point, I just stop now, Naya, and I hope we will get more time for get discussions like this.
Yeah, we'll get for it one because this now a concern to every nationals of Sierra Leone. So, and the crisis is deepening. So we get foresee how government will react. Hopefully, some of them our government will listen now. Government officials they will listen and then try to put something in place. Until then, we get for the observe and see. If we continue, we get for the camp talk about it over and over until it reduce in that country. So, King David, what is your last word?
First of all, I thank my brothers and Mr. Jesse and Emmanuel, brother Emmanuel, for their contributions to the give. It makes a lot of sense. Like my brother just mentioned about government for providing oversight. Because with everything where government they try for establish, if they get an oversight where they effectively work, all NTR go dey under control properly, and government will even get an account. They will even give accountability. The authorities are where they will able to know whatever they go, whether what they implement effective or not. And one thing again, me said they try for say to my fellow Sierra Leoneans, especially those in authority. Therefore, truly give independence to the one that way they carry out the law or the responsibilities when they discharge to the officials when they're on duty. May they give them true independence for men they carry out what they do. Like we can see oftentimes politicians, administrative authorities, then they interfere. And some they even manipulate on the outcomes of most of them and the way they happen for men not go further. And sometimes they even they block them. And if you work with your boss man, something don't can when we say you want to do your work effectively, then you see the boss man, they try for manipulate, they try for stop you. You say go fear for your job because you don't want to do anything so far where they mortgage your job. So when they undermine their responsibilities of the officials, when they come on a job, then whatever law, whatever rule, whatever measure, what they want for taking, not will be effective. So bunch of the teams, all what would they say, it can only work effectively when the authorities are ready. And this is not a one person in fight. Now everybody, make we all know, say you were the authority. It not going to affect you right now because it's not you picking them, or maybe you picking them out, or maybe if you say picking them small. But what about your brothers? What about the society where they head? At the end of the day, you don't go ever left in that position. Somebody there for camp up. And even if you're not there, when you're there out of Sierra Leone, wherever you're there, the development of Sierra Leone, the progress of Sierra Leone, or the development of the lives of the people in the society, now you're concerned. So make we all work together for more, make sure that this push crisis come to an end. Now we all business. We always there where they talk, not to foresee that idle. Now because we let Sierra Leone. We find with them Sierra Leone. When they see them here on social media, when they see on news and so forth, it they turn to pain to we with a filler. So please, make we all work together as Sierra Leoneans. Make we put this thing under control. It's a crisis, but we still have a chance for make we deal with it and solve it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, King David. Yeah, we still get a chance, and that chance we will get and we don't roll for play. Now they do so. You know, who they can for educate with nation and with government officials as to the dangers of this thing and then the right path to eradicate or reduce the influx of that thing in our country, and as well as how to take care of the victims. Because I see them young man them sorry, I watch one video again about me. Somebody go to them for go see them. You know, some of these people, then they use that people and they for make money. Then they go to them place, then they go video them, make this, that, go put in a YouTube or when they make money. But they don't do anything for help them or for even talk to government, let government help them or make video, we go educate like how they do so. So now make I feel say we own video again for make a difference. Then but then they cannot work. Like how you talk, Mr. Fatoma, their food the order won't take. Then the other boy say don't take me weeks or months. I know. Now creep them, they creep. The people who go video them, they go buy food for the community eat. They were creeping. They didn't put them up again. because they tie pieces on the foot. The foot don't eat. So you see, and the other video we showed the last time we made this last video we make that about that woman is showing foot. It's in a small so foot like one. They don't expand. And they never expand past that to the point where they don't work. Eventually it will get for killer. And next year we put it watch it's pathetic. And the government they see you get tons of them about them, they park under and release them, they park under bridges. Then there are some ghettos in the area. Then there are some slums in the country. And people in this video, they put them, government they see. Why didn't they go take them, they go put them somewhere? Let me invest in the people there. Because they're not part of the capital, human capital development with all the talk about. But they left all the young men and their lives in the waste. They die in the street in the numbers. So I want to tell now, thank you for now can join the court barrier because it's the Sierra Leone court barrier. We shall get for the gather, for the discuss things the way they affect the country, good or bad, politics, health, education, you name it, political parties, So I tell you thank you, and when I be rest assured that we get for people to come back inside here, it might not be for kush, but for something else. So I tell you thank you, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, brothers.